welcome back to the shed. Well, it's a week before Christmas, and well, I think I've obviously been a pretty good boy this year because Santa has already brought me this beautiful engine. Now this is the OKMO-RETROL engine, and it's the model is the 1110 or the 1110, and it comes in this beautiful box, as did the previous engine from OKMO-RETROL. It's lovely metallic. I mean, it's difficult to show you because of the reflections and stuff. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it unboxed for you now, and then we'll have a quick look around the engine. So this new little engine on my bench is the OKMO 1110 model gasoline engine. Now it's a petrol engine, but the original design that it's sort of based on is a Japanese diesel engine. Now obviously it's not going to be a diesel because we won't be able to get a diesel to run, you know, at this sort of tiny scale. But it's the engine it's based on was called the Yanmar S3 diesel engine, and it was designed and built by a company in Japan, founded in 1912, called Yanmar, and like I say, in Japan, in Osaka, and they made diesel engines for sort of agricultural purposes, construction machines, and also were sort of large seagoing vessels as well. And in 1933 they built the world's smallest diesel engine, which was the Yanmar HB model, which was you know, a perfect tiny size engine really for you know, just sort of everyday agricultural use, and generating power, pumping water and things like that. And but this one, like I say, is based on the S3 diesel. And you know, the replica of it it's really quite beautiful. If you look at the details, you know, it really is quite astounding, and it's very similar to some of the pictures I found on the internet. I'll show you now. And yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Now this is made obviously by OKMO, RETROL OKMO have teamed together, and this one was sent to me by Vortrixe, which is a new outlet actually in China for model engines and steam engines and, you know, etc, etc. And they sent this one along to me, you know, to have a look at. And I think this one is it the third or maybe even the fourth in the series of like the vintage classic series that Jan has been designing. And it's actually, well, it's more than beautiful. I mean, look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It really, really is. Yeah, so it's the 1110 from the classic series. It's got a 16mm bore, 19mm stroke, and it's a 3.6cc 4-stroke petrol engine. Okay, now it uses pure gasoline, so petrol, 95% octane, and you don't need to mix it with any 2-stroke because it's got its own sump down the bottom there, and a little plug, a little pump, which you know, circulates the oil around the engine. Very, very nice design indeed. It's all sealed, so you can't see the sort of workings of the crank and that, but you know, it's as the engine was, so obviously that's the way they've had to do it. It's got a 31640 model engineering spark plug in there, which seems to be becoming the standard. It's about the smallest plug you can get, I do believe. And this one's a little bit different because it features a mechanical ignition. So I mean, I haven't really fully got to grips with how that one works, but it looks to me like there's a sort of switch unit in there, and then down here you've got a cam and plunger, and it basically just you know, it just pushes the plunger and fires the switch, which obviously ignites the fuel from the spark plug spark. It also has metal piston rings, so it's got two metal piston rings, and also it has an oil ring as well. So I mean, I haven't had the piston out to have a look, but that's what it says in the data. So obviously it's getting full lubrication of the cylinder with the piston. So yeah, it's quite it's a bit different from the usual models. The usual ones tend to just have a I can't think of the name of it now, but those rubber green O-rings. It's not rubber, it's nitro, whatever it is. Anyway, heat-proof sort of O-rings. But obviously this one with its own rings, it should last a lot longer actually, without before the O-ring sort of wears out and needs replacement. This is the little air intake, which is absolutely beautiful, and of course it's got its separate throttle adjustment, so you can basically change the speed through this lovely little mechanical sort of geared arc there. So anyway, I'm going to get it up and running now for you. I had a few problems to start with. I couldn't get it to run for long and it kept cutting out. And what I actually found was the spark plug wasn't fully tight, so you do need to check that if you get one of these. Make sure that the spark plug is tight, obviously without over tightening it. And also there's a little bit of clearance in there. It's a bit too long actually for the plug, and it does make me wonder whether I'm getting full electrical contact on the top of the plug there. But that's something I'll work on, because I have got it running. It's running nice, so for the purposes of this video, that'll be fine for now, and I'll do any messing around later. Okay, let's get it running. There's just 4 little screws that you have to take out, and then with a bit of luck, and the cover lifts off. As you can see there, you've now got access to the crank and gearing, etc. for the pump. Nice bit of compression on there still. And well, this is the cap. I did try and unscrew this here, but I just couldn't move it. And I'm not really sure. I think it's just an air inlet actually, for changes of temperature and stuff like that. It's got a nice little gasket seal all the way around it, and it's got this plate in there, which I can only think is to sort of catch the splashes. So as the splashes come round, it sort of throws the oil up around the crankcase, and that there's to deflect the splashes so it doesn't start coming out of the air vents. But we'll see, or it might be to deflect it so it goes up further up towards the cylinder. So yeah, so I'm guessing it's to splash it up, into the back of the cylinder there. What I've noticed, this whole engine seems to be it's actually made of brass, which is rather lovely. That also means though that there, if I could just clean off the top surface of the paint there, that'll be really nice as a little brass logo. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is get some oil in. Now it doesn't actually say how much oil it needs to have. There is a mention of between 12 and 15 millilitres, but I think that's talking about the fuel tank. So I'm not really sure, because they call it to fill the fuel tank with oil. Obviously that's not what we're going to do. Let me just grab a little funnel. So all I'm going to do, I'll do for now, is, if I can without spilling it everywhere, let's get that in there. Oops. Ooh, it's a bit slow, that funnel. I'll tell you what, I'll just pour it directly in. And so I'm just going to stop there, because I can't see how full it is with the funnel in the way. The funnel's too slow anyway, so come on, Mr. Funnel, out you come. Right, so yeah, it's in the bottom. The crank's just dipping its toes in the oil as it goes right down. So right, I'm going to bring it up to there, and now that is just shy of the bottom of the back of the cylinder. That's just a bit under. Should be okay there. Moving it the wrong way actually, aren't we? Yeah, I think that'll be okay. And this, by the way, is just regular engine oil. So it says not to have, because it's got a pump system and it lubricates itself. You shouldn't need to have to add any, two-stroke mixture to the oil, to the fuel. So, I think I might have put a bit too much in there. So I'm just going to try and suck a bit back out. I'm just going to use my syringe and suck a bit of oil back up. Okay, it's still quite full, so I'll suck a little bit more out. And then what I'll do is I'll check that later once it's been running, once it's seeped into all the crevices and things. So, oil's in, looking good. Alright, so I'll just get this little cover back on without losing all the screws. Fiddly enough with that one there. Right, all screws, bear with. Okay, so the last one in, I'll just pinch those all up, just so that rubber seal has a chance of stopping the escape of oil. And you will also notice there's a little tiny little glass oiler down there as well. You can see that, yeah, okay. So I'm just going to give that a little squirt of oil as well. This is just a lighter oil. That's what I use mainly to lubricate all the moving parts on most of the things I have, but I can fill that up with oil, look. Okay, it should be okay. I'll monitor that and see how it drips through. So before I put the fuel in, while I've got the oil in my hand, I'm actually just going to go around and give everything a bit of an oil. I'll just drop a little bit of oil on all the moving parts. So we've got the valves down there, the rocker arms, and then to the push rods. Got a thingy there. That should be fine. Let's move around and have a look here. So yeah, the throttle linkages. I mean, these don't move particularly much, but I'll just put a drop on anyway. Okay. Obviously the valve rods, mind you, they'll be going into that casement, so I'd imagine they're going to get. So the oil's all in. It's all oiled up nicely. Okay, it's turning over. It's got compression. Spark plugs in. Just need to add a bit of petroleum. Petroleum, petrol, gas, whatever you want to call it, but it's not two-stroke. Although it looks like it is, it's I think that's just the natural colour of petrol. Right, so we put that little cap on. I normally have a problem with these with my fingers, but that seems to have gone on quite well. Now, the final thing to do, of course, is to add some power. Okay, so now that's in, let's try and get it to. Yes, does. Well, almost. Okay, so obviously it says to you know, to prime the engine. This is our air intake, and it's got that lovely little butterfly nut on there. Let me just zoom in and show you that. It's got a lovely little butterfly nut, yeah, and I mean that is a beautiful sort of well, a design feature, which obviously, you know, the full-sized engine would have that. You'd have to unscrew that and then you could pull the thing off, but this one simply pops off, and it's you know, it's just such a beautiful fit. At first I thought it was magnetic, but it's at least I don't think it is, but it's just such a perfect fit. It's gorgeous. Anyway, so that's our throttle. Obviously air goes in there, and you know, as you move the get it in shot, as you move the throttle lever, it'll open and close. So, oh, that top's come off. So what I'm going to do is zoom back out again. That'll do. I'm just going to put my finger on there. Which might, yeah, I can see fuel in there, look. Yes, absolutely, just bubbled out. Probably flooded it already. So I'll put the cap on with its lovely little wing nut, butterfly nut, as some people call them. And then, of course, the last thing we need, which probably don't need just yet, but I'll put it in anyway, is we need some coolant. So it's quite a nice sized tank. It comes right around here, actually. It's it really is quite lovely. So I'll just get some. This is just water, cold water. Oops, blocker. Coming up. It does have a little float in there, like I say. So. Oh, that's better. Must have just got stuck. And so that just gives you a an indication, really, of the level of coolant you have in the engine. So now this is the big moment, I guess. I'm going to try and start the engine. So it comes with your usual string type thing, pull cord, which, to be honest, I quite like, especially when the engine's running well. Oh, he says I like it. If I could get that knot through the hole. Come on, yes, there you come. Right, doodle 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 do. And then, in fact, just make sure it's turned on. Yeah, okay. And then now there is a little arrow on the flywheels, which is saying it needs to go that way, but obviously with the notch there, it can't really go any other way. So we'll just wind that up around there like that. And then, fingers crossed, if there's enough fuel, we'll give it a pull. Not quite. Let's try again. Nope, nothing yet. Let's try once again. Haven't not done anything, have I? That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Oh, yeah, I might have to open the throttle a bit. That could have been the reason. I mean, it wasn't completely shut, but it wasn't completely open either. So we'll give it another whirl. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Wow. Wow. Oops. It's stopping, obviously, because I've got the throttle wide open, so I'll go down to a half. At least we know it's kicking in. Round you go. How lovely. Oh, it's always good when you get a fire on the first pull, or third pull in my case. First pull with the throttle open. So let's just tell you what, swap hands. guess it's just working in. It's exciting though, isn't it? I do love these things. I do love these little engines. They're just beautiful things, they are. Really, really are. Right, let's try again. Hopefully, should have worked through. I'm not going to adjust the throttle because it says it's factory set. So, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, it's okay. Now it's not smoking, so to me it might be a little bit lean, but again, I'm not yet going to touch that the needle on the the needle on the fuel intake, not the throttle, obviously, but it might need a slight adjustment. So let's fire it again. I mean, it's very nearly there, isn't it? So, okay. Right, dare I? Yes, I dare. So I'm going to just open that slightly. And I'm literally, it's tiny, I don't know, eighth of a rotation. Hope you're enjoying this, not too bored. Don't forget, if you're new here, press the subscribe button. Click the bell as well so you get notifications when I'm bringing out a new video, such as the one you're watching right now. I only received this engine yesterday. Still not sure. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a long way out actually. So I'm all the way in, and then I'm going to go one complete turn. Just about there. This is where I always say to myself, don't mess with the aid. If they got it right at the factory, it'll be right now. But of course, things do change. You know, might be using slightly different octane gasoline. Oops, it could be even an altitude thing, you know, where the air's thinner, or I might be higher where the air's thinner, or it could be the moisture in the air, you know, from what you call it, humidity. There are factors. So, oh, I didn't pull that one right, did I? I just smacked myself in the face with the knot as well, actually. Try again. What was going on there? Come on, Aid. Give it a pull. Okay, so it's starting to run okay. Just going to lean it off a little and see if it speeds up. Now I'm going to back a bit. Go on. Okay. Well, I might have leaned it too much then, starved it. Just leave it where it is. Okay, try again. Okay, bring it back out a bit. In fact, where I went was okay. I'll go right the way in, and then I'm going to go half turn and another half turn. So that's one turn, which is what it recommends in the manual. But of course, you know, like I was saying, you have to fine tune these things. But it certainly seems to run okay on that setting, or does it? Now I can't really smell oil burning, so I'm going to come a little bit further out actually. If you can smell oil, then the chances are it's running a bit rich. Or if you can smell, you know, smoke, I should say, because obviously it's not a two-stroke. So come on, don't die on me now. missus is going to go mad when she smells the house full of petrol fumes, but she doesn't really mind. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the throttle. I'm going to open it a bit more, just to give it that fighting chance. Oop. Maybe a bit too slow. Let's try again. Put the throttle back up a bit. It's a fine balance between getting enough fuel coming through and the right combination of throttle. But I mean, once it's running, it's nice. I'm just going to run it on a medium speed for a bit. He says it's hard to know because it takes a couple of seconds to pick up. You probably can't hear me very well, but I think you'll see. Quite lovely, isn't it, really? This is a little exhaust at the front. It's that bit of black fuel coming out of there, so it's obviously burning a bit rich. But if I try and unrich it a bit, it starts to struggle a bit. So it might just be oil that is coming through, from the sump. When I first filled it, I'd filled it far too full, and I had to take the cover back off again to take a bit of the oil out. It's getting a bit warm now actually, so I'll just go and get some water. Just turn it off for a second. And the reason it's out of water, not that it's boiled it away or anything, it's actually I sort of went to turn it upside down to have a look at something, and of course all the water, I forgot about the water being in there. And is it coming up? Up. That float's a little bit sticky. try again. One thing, I was having trouble getting it running, and I'd noticed, well, I didn't notice, but I thought I'd try, make sure the spark plug's tight, and it wasn't quite tight enough. It was probably just pinched up, but I mean, I haven't, over tightened it or anything, but I've just managed to get about another, I don't know, eighth of a turn on it, perhaps. And also the, where the HT lead comes into there, it tends to back off a bit, and as you can see, there's still a bit of gap in there. So I'm guessing the spark's having to jump that to get to the plug. So I might sort of alter that a little bit, because I haven't noticed, if you hold it on, it tends to run a little bit smoother, probably without missing too many fires. It's unusual. Odds are okay. Oh, it's because I'm a blooming idiot, ain't I? I've got to turn the throttle back up. Yep. There's nothing better than making a fool of yourself on YouTube. But I guess that's the way we all live and learn, isn't it? Float valve staying up now, look. I'm running at about 3/4 throttle. It keeps sort of oscillating up and down a bit, the speed. Might just because it's running in, really. Yeah, it's pulled it down a bit anyway. I don't know how much torque is on this thing. Not bad, actually. Yeah, that's certainly going to be able to drive some quite a good bit of stuff. I like that. No. Yeah, it does feel like it's bedded in well now, actually. We'll speed that up to full. That's full throttle now. Quite well. Half throttle. And then you can just bring it down notch by notch. I think that's pretty lovely. Oops, gonna stop. Excuse me. Ready for its close-ups. Get that ugly mess out of the way. And to be honest, it doesn't jump around much either. I mean, it's got that bit of creep. It's coming. It must be actually just jumping backwards and forwards a bit. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. What a lovely thing. Obviously you've got a take-off here, so you can put a belt on there and drive something. Well, the oil stopped leaking out of there when I had it overfilled with oil. It was starting to come out of there, so at least that's okay now. All I've done is set it so that when the crank is at its lowest position, it just skims the oil, just dips the oil. As before, I think it was far too much. That little oiler there. The oil's going down in that one, I can't really see. Just open it up a little. But yeah, all doing good. I don't know what difference it makes if you expose it. It just gets a bit more air in. Probably get a bit too rich, won't it? Yeah, that's good. I like that. I guess you could probably get this running really quite slow. Obviously I'm going to let it, you know, run in for a while. Perhaps go through a tank of gas and then see if it all smooths up a little bit. But yeah, great. So, well, this model, it was sent to me from Vortrixe. It seemed to be a new name in the game, supplying this, you know, the usual engines. This is obviously a Musa. I think it was advertised as a OKMO-RETROL. Sorry, it's not a Musa. It's an OKMO. Ignore me. It's an OKMO engine, which of course is Jin's company. Jin, the designer, and this is part of what they call the retro series. So there is this engine, which is like the Yanmar. I might have to do a bit more of this. I've forgotten the words. Right, so I'm going to get some close-ups. Anyway, so I guess it's time to close this little video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know it might have been a little bit long-winded, and as usual I had my my usual problems trying to get the damn thing started, which is fairly normal for me. Everyone else seems to be able to just do just like that. But anyway, I got there in the end, and I mean, what a beautiful thing. Engine from OKMO again, from Jin. You know, you can't really go wrong with what Jin's bringing out now. But yes, I need to give a massive thanks out to Vortrixe. Thank you, Vortrixe, for sending me this lovely engine to review. I often get, you know, contacted by various different, you know, Chinese suppliers. Vortrixe is a new one to me. I've not heard of those before. But you know, they've sent me this, and their livery is beautiful. Actually, they sent me this beautiful envelope with all the stuff in there, and you know, they've been really helpful. So yeah, Jude, I believe, who I've been chatting to, absolutely awesome. The engine itself, the engine itself is gorgeous, as you can imagine. Now, obviously, this is available for sale through Vortrixe. And you know, there will be a discount link in the description below, or up here somewhere. I'll put it up there. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for well, thanks for watching, all you guys, of course, out there, all you guys and girls, sorry. I know these engines are expensive, but you know what, they're actually worth it. They're brilliant, they're beautiful. Now, I've got a rather exciting, the next engine. I mean, this is the classic series of engines. You know, they brought out a couple of engines before. There was the Monitor engine, that they also did another diesel, diesel replica from Japan, and well, I'm so excited by the next one that's coming out, which is, of course, the good old Lister D. Now, I'm a big follower of Lister D. I own two of the actual engines themselves, one from 1939, one from 1949, and I absolutely love them. I've got a 1 horsepower and a 1.5 horsepower, so I cannot wait for my next sort of review, if it is that indeed. I think they're due out in January, so I put my pre-order in. So yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, as ever, thank you for watching. Au revoir.